twa bet no my bet na fe bibia so no yede enkoye emfa emam honom hye no so se bibia betumi akoyi pa so ede amount dia pomodin a na aduane show no ewo my bet no eye MYBET na watentemu kakra na the bet no atwa so ewo Facebook and face street is watching so no ewo Facebook street is watching ewo Facebook and ABN radio 1 and so Facebook and also your stream show no live and be answer to me and akoye oko YouTuber MYBET.AFRICA TV MYBET.AFRICA TV na online radio no and so MYBET online radio and show no ya broadcast across all the your shops country nim be bia obefa bia no ye da so a amanfo na twa bet no almost aso ye den hwen na omutie analysis a ye de bro ene de ekone de eba ni nyina no omutie na bibia so na tumi ada atumi akoyi okọ TikTok a ye videos me bia de koni nyina aye TikTok na no sports.arena.news sports.arena.news wono na akọ Telegram account wona hono ne yedigwa enya asem keto akra ye di course ni ade guo twabet debate wono ma amanyama tumi de ekoye eno so ye sports arena ewo Telegram account within the list of Vincent or Benedict and so has na Friday nti ye be bua nsem ni mu ye papa na fe ye de us no enso etumi dia bro na ndra wonum se me us na me ye no long no team ba ko efe na Iris Thessalonica obo tutu tinkame na kame di 4600 ono na obo tutu otena fie me di kan be hye ni 2 ansa na obetiti tutu ni nyina obetitu ni nyina ono se me be o se sa bet no tie be sa akobiem na ya hwe se ye betumi adi before season ni be start no na bibia nso etumi ade etumi akoye abiyafo ma makwaba
list ya jeso
obe bomodi ana watumi ama my better education no we are na fe ya ba be hwe two players we why na mo be nya no obe build team a why na obeto no e dey about team
yes we are my better education dia obi enim say be we weekend say dia obi ape bebi obetwa bet wo betimi afiska na ape bebi abe fiska dia MYBET.AFRICA nti enemy 2 for say weekend pre-season games ekoso there other games ekoso upe bebi abe fiska MYBET.AFRICA na utie ekopema mecheche omu adenti a me select MYBET.AFRICA as one of the best betting platforms I'll bet me use. Internet so person joining MYBET very simple called www.mybet.africa or any browser so ukwa omo platform ni be FFF on the top right corner how be hu icon be as ni green umia so how be hu login any register so account that login na train na for the more information I'll bet me diska so uni account a me register ne so na me fan for registration process num na for the own register now so become MYBET ebusuan nti any registration process ni very simple 3 simple steps now bet me register first one a very simple so bet me twa bet etimi ayi bibia nti any umia game ba ko so a obehu top or obehu ya tro bet builder e will not be umia so be switch na so green free or kon bet me up to 10 selection on one game nti any big game ko so hwas games na aka no unyigidie wom so obetimi nya selections wo ma we just one game obetimi nya 10 selections wo team to win scores cards corners we bookings half time win any bibia or how obetimi select up to 10 selections and obetimi nya free minti just one game obetimi nya almost with 10 or 20 or say free how bibia obetimi akoya ma the next na my bet dey ma on say aka bonus your selection no ma bonus ni mu yedu nti with 1500 aka bonus and mo dey ma say free weekend until with 20 to 30 selections of more no ubetimi enya sa bonus we are sika no be do to won so potential win you know I can see a passing baby a ubetimi twa bet wo my bet per NMA 1500 other betting platforms one ma 300 and 1000 my bet so ma 1500 now sika no mo ayedu upe odds can see dia MYBET.AFRICA weekend we are my bet platform now so twa bet na fiska ewo
right into my bet hon come on na yeguso aye ne wo ye den edi no abia fonti sese no Yen start in the room.
Yes.
Benedict.
Yeah.
2 players we Pedri. Any Vitinha.
Yeah.
Hot debate pa. These are highly skillful players. Very good, talented players pa. So 2 players we. Why na obi do team obe sign no abaso major finfin fama.
Okay, so maybe building me team. Now we share these 2 profiles our man. They are more of a CDM and a CM positions. Bet me jinabo. Now say me building me team there. I think Vitinha this season the performance our done it. Yenim say we are seeing myself person obo league bini hu sampa ujina na so the Premier League. Waba be jine mu Wolves utimu say na nyama nkoye man but we are Paris Saint-Germain team no with playing style our coach Luis Enrique bo any the way of set up the team everything no. Time on no Wolves no. Na 3 back one Joao Neves na na ejina mfinfin ho and no mo bo ejuma but o Paris Saint-Germain we the likes of Fabian Luiz, the likes of Joao Neves and na no so no bibia timi koye wo mfinfin ho yen hwe no player career kakra o hwe o player bia on board teams akese ye pa of Porto and we mu eba be ball Wolves and o call back to Porto and o back to Paris Saint-Germain and or bonny ball e wo ho o hwe ni player starter performance or done it, especially as a CDM and as a CM no goals are or man no no eden. This season, if time was signing my Paris Saint-Germain in 2022, with me 19 goals or more. And likely so who say a CDM or a CM to me out this number of goals. About the trophies there, I think Vitinha a player be winning him. And then the Nations League waje the Portuguese Euros so utimi Real Madrid be the Champions League trophy be a here as a player or call France. Waje trophies ni ne or Portugal and so ultimate trophies na but ene ye de compare player friend Pedri inti o compare 2 players a untimi high we ni nka so we sin we obi o hwe say ultimate ase adenti a ofa Vitinha over Pedri na ene ye beko per 90 minutes starts kakra inti ye wemu wi a na afi dem aba be checha ahwefo mu adenti a me feel say Pedri enye player bia obetim de ne ho atoto Vitinha especially about Boma. Yen share almost start in 90 minutes. About the duels between these 2 players are Pedri Emma 94%. Say Uwini duels. Vitinha Emma 43%. I didn't who said duels no Pedri won in him saying Vitinha and he said Vitinha will be a friend of Joao Neves. Or yes say Jumani Mano. So picky balls and making sure say Bibia bet me akoye. But in him say share a CDM and a DMR. Adeba ko attribute to be a share free almost a 1. The progressive passes and a 2 the link up plays with me but into a hono and a mirror so we progressive carries Vitinha Emma on 98.4%, Pedri Emma on 97.5%. Forward passes into the final third no Vitinha Emma on 98.6%, now Pedri Emma on 92.7% into a honso channel near my forward passes percentage say what bo pass na mana kuni ni mama na kwa kodu ye Vitinha Emma 99.6% inti osha 0.4 pen forward passes are intimi nkodu inti nka we nke e school ni ekwa nka 99 de nka we twa anu we nya ni A no Pedri Emma 52.0 inti no on benu e wo baby amu na the last one I ye de be share I de be wie progressive carries na Vitinha Emma 98.8 na Pedri Emma 94 inti we per 90 minutes a game o mo bo a say ka obi obetimi distribute ball ni ye obi obetimi carry ball ni ya Pedri ben Vitinha especially press resistant especially play obetimi find ya making sure say the fullbacks obetimi akoni ni makwa explore wa cover mom o distribute ball ni ye obeko goalkeeper ni wakwa kwaje ball no etimi making sure say ball ni betimi edu nanim o hwe Vitinha in this Paris Saint-Germain setup ope obi a Paris Saint-Germain setup no obo ne ho modern etimi making sure say bibia timi koyi a Vitinha because onu no kuta team no say o can the core of the team Vitinha adenti America say say e wo Portugal e wo Paris Saint-Germain team no otimi gina born ho modern so oni Paris Saint-Germain team na utimu say bibia free team no because Fabian Luiz, Joao Neves and Zai Emery mu be mu a omu ntimi nya sa rule na Vitinha no inti ene oni team no ma otimu say team na atochima kakra o hwe the Portuguese national team no ma oni mu a infinfin the likes of Bruno any we friends and Neves muso mbe control infinfin on everything because he obi obekọ Ruben Dias more obeko Diego we Costa mo akwaji ball ne movie ball no na ye hwe mo start kakra in 2025 from August 1st of August 2025 every mene air 1st of August air reporter amain na appearance with these two players Vitinha able 42 games Pedri Emma 35 games na goals almo share as a CDM utimi share 8 goals Emma 9 assists and a Pedri share 4 goals Emma 5 assists into utimi a double figures in goals and assists even playing as a deep line midfielder in the game we never key passes per game Oma 2.1 key pass per game Pedri Emma 1.7 key pass per game dribbles completed in a game Otimi completed 2.4 dribbles and a Pedri completed 1.5 dribbles passing accuracy send am ball so no and 90% per game na Pedri I 89 into even though say Pedri pass anyone in him but end to the Vitinha e de bema no na ye share interceptions per game oma 1.5 interceptions Pedri 0.9 ewo ho na fouls 1 say a DM say wakwakoji ball no movie ball no ni etimi foul no otimi fouls from 2.3% and a Pedri 1.6 ye hwe ni minute dia wa bo minute be seen we have any same Pedri but adiba ko e man down so ni say me boss no man of the match otimi win 6 man of the match ama team e friend Paris Saint-Germain Pedri etimi win mienu intention so a player bi o game mu a otimi da enyama edi e make sure say team ni bi agina ne so na ade ba ko a mefa Vitinha over Pedri ni consistency injury records ene enyama bibi o hwe this season a onko injury mpo ye otimi agina mu every game bia unless Luis Enrique na adwen say o man mbo and o yina tenase arrest no but this season Pedri enya injuries nko amiensa edu baby create me affect Barcelona team ni tu pobi obe reliable upobi obe ba team wetimi abo bibia opea I think Vitinha a player betimi akofo na me ma hwefo enyama ba ko mienu bi se ope more complete midfielder me ko for Vitinha se na mchechi omu no me o ko for consistency obi o reliable or no available every time me ko for player friend Vitinha statistics or edge ahead of Pedri with goals assist any bibia ewo ho na tactical flexibility ono nso o wonenim bebrese in Pedri because Vitinha edu baby o wolf no about even as a left winger into a boss a left winger da or boss a CDM da or boss a CM da utimi ball anywhere around the midfielder so pe with flexibility e will play a more bema big game impact say edu big game no betimi ejine ma ball no who Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League final Ousmane Dembele mu desire dey mu Gio Medimba infinfin hono eye Vitinha and team control making sure say the likes of Chanoglu the likes of Barella mu entimi enyom game entimi nya forward passes up front intino so ubisam with these two players I think Vitinha reliable or the bema goals and assists or the bema key passes or the bema progression fouls betimi wini any nyama bibi or the bema infinfin hono unyo no na unya any other midfielder pair na obetimi ada ne ho edi o hwe Paris Saint-Germain setup no ma Fabian Luis Joao Neves on any day no omu hia Vitinha so be edwuma no ama omu nso etimi a explore into Fabian Luis obe move to the Spanish national team ebi ontimi start wo but Vitinha uko Portugal uko Paris Saint-Germain in top 5 European teams any European team me can want say Vitinha best start o team bia mu
okay right okay.
Yeah, list to my main shirt here for na me point in bra.
Okay.
If I'm building a team, now say I have to choose between Vitinha and Pedro Gonzalez Lopez. They don't have any Pedri.
Okay.
I think I will go in for Pedri. Now, these two players are exceptional players, and in fact, they are all central midfielders.
Yeah.
But you see, we've seen Pedri. Mm-hmm. From the days of Las Palmas by Barcelona, this is a boy who free the youth team on the grass by Las Palmas at 16 years, least to just 1 year in the La Liga, and San Abasa for the Kofan bar.
So Onye La Masia graduate.
Okay. Onye La Masia graduate. Now, and there's a reason why people even believe that Pedri and La Masia because he got into the Barca team at a very tender age. Because Barca team list before we talk about Barcelona team no at that young age this Sabiel La Masia and no my project now like how Ansu Fati Pau Kubasi any new number 10 Lame Yama and mobile red team no Vitinha an exceptional player. But Listo, and Prem, there's a reason why some of the coaches be her or Pobia Banaboni Diama. He needs somebody Ebia the work rate and also he needs somebody who can build from the back. And you see, if you compare Vintia any Pedria, a banner Ebia the work rate, Vintia ahead. But now, Listo, what is the most important thing in football? I didn't know what team. For you to win. And for you to win, you have to create chances, score goals, and suddenly with defenders. And other midfielders so Abba Baye, Abba tackle near my making sure I wait me, I keep clean sheet and I wait me win the game. No. Vintia last season was the best ever season. On the career. Because a man for a man shout say, oh, Vintia. But Listo, Pedri and now Pedro Gonzalez. Since 2019, Oba Barcelona, there's never been a season. Obebo season area, Okasa Obo top 10 midfielders in this Liga. Obakasa Umbo and in Europe, Umbo Pedro Gonzalez even every season. Obiane make Bayawe. But if you look at Barcelona setup now, this is the Barcelona Pep Guardiola, Mo, Xavi, Sergio Busquets, Iniesta, Fabregas, Ivan Rakitic, and when this boy used to ni technique Onyela Masia boy, but everything HS he's an integral part of Barca team. It's me Barca season member. Now Brand to about 99% of the games are Barcelona abo. Especially last season. Ubeka I go to a time not Barca fans. And even the Spanish fans can say, a boy, Omamana bo games too much until Danny injury by about 50 games alone. Edema Barcelona. As also called ball, man Spain under 21. This is a boy work pijab Barcelona team. It's in a better so. Then, of course, Spain national team no ball. It's also the under 21, echo under 23 Olympic Games. It's also called boy Koji the best player, and that at the end of that season he won the best player. That is the golden ball, and in a few months, as also J the Copa Trophy. So Pedri, listen, you compare or no any Vitinha, age-wise, Vitinha, and when the Babaka say, oh compare and prem senior career, the experience Abrante wa. Vitinha is nowhere close to Abrante and the Vitinha. Vitinha season when you the PhD last season. Listen, if Pedri was in that PhD setup, trust me, Senkaye Pobia. Yabaka say PSG aji treble. Ye permit food general bia obia bebo nidia. People will mention Pedri, not Vitinha. Even me as now. So what check Vitinha. There's a reason why you're a very key player to PSG team no. Because omo build the app almost set up. But listen, let's be frank and put Pedri. If Pedri is coming into the PSG setup, trust me, Fabian Ruiz is better than Chen.
No, a direct comparison. So it is either you have
no building my point. I'm saying say where Vitinha anytime say they are all two central midfielders.
Yeah.
But baby a Vitinha ebo any baby a Pedri bono. So I can say oh Senor Modarelia. Then Vitinha cannot be in the Barcelona setup because if Pedri is coming to this PSG setup as a number 8, as a number 10, he can go into the setup. But then you look at Barcelona team no. Can Vitinha
it's like Omutu no.
Yeah,
maybe Omutu say one o build the team. You need one of them.
Yes,
which one
the
will
point
you?
When I'm just saying I'll pick Pedri
because
of the creativity. But I'm maybe the point about say with this player no money my car say me say if Pedri cut him be my own team starting and some make us ask me say right now listen I want to ask you a question. Is Vitinha will Vitinha start ahead of Frankie de Jong at Barcelona?
Why not?
The thing say me pese yen hwe ni say Vitinha ko Barcelona obe two Pedri.
He can never bench Pedri.
O see omo two no e wo say yehwe ni ye because ebetima ba say me ba o ebe omo two no omo ye identical players.
Yes.
But the role now omo ball club side no e na eye den because Yema Pedri no, he is the controller of Barcelona team no. Adie bi ebe koso moving forward bi ana no. Ena Vitinha so going forward adie bi ebe koso bi ana no. Just that obachire they be at the distance or no be ba fa ball no. Editating play no. Ena ebi abeka say ono okọ as far as ebi okopo n'anim nyina kwaje ball ni fi go pa no to Pedri so that's the same thing.
Yeah.
They are all controllers of the game. I was saying the defensive aspect of a game, no, it is being covered by Joao Neves and
maybe Frankie De Jong and
there be the Spain, you know what, Fabian Ruiz, and about Barca as well. The defensive aspect of Pedri, no, it is being done by Frankie De Jong. Any Casadomo come no DM no yet at the moment in terms of the defense, but in terms of controlling the game, so I'm looking at Omutu no. Why now obey?
Yes.
And what does one have over the other?
And me make it that comparison. Okay. Pedri can enter into this PSG team with ease. Oh, and you're but then if you're comparing Vitinha and Frankie De Jong, there are other things that Frankie De Jong can offer our backers on any good day, whether the formula of PSG last season, you will never pick Vitinha ahead of Frankie De Jong. Now, let me come into virus and far pictures now with that too. Talking about Medicanga so Mumina is central midfielders. But where these players no in their respective clubs no are very key into this argument. Now check it Pedro Listo. Or you're more of a number 8 and number 10 or Barcelona no. He's never played that lone D and also be on defensive midfielder. But if you check it PSG team now, if they are building up, send all kind, they are build up on age and painting also. On the J-Born, a free defense, and Washishe, Joao Neves, Fabian Ruiz, before beating me, Arechi the attacking third of Omutim. But now PSG, Barca team, no. If Omoji Bonum, my friend Gideona, they're expecting their playmaker, the visionary in the team to make something happen. And in terms of numbers, if you compare these players, maybe a able game away. Now, Vitinha have more forward passes than Pedri because Vitinha no or building up from the back. Then, you know, now Pedri so ni key passes. And yeah, dear, we be and but now let me compare these two players. The Cavaliers bet him a picture not to swear. And show where these players over the years they've played the most. From transfer market in the central row. No. Pedri either Obebo in the central row, which is this is Vitinha there. On say Vitinha then there three baby are almost circle the panel and near the central row. And then or more the attacking third and or more the DM row. No. Now, on them by our say since Vitinha started to Obebo from the Porto Academy about Porto, about Wolves, and your man about back to PSG, the first season, the second season. In the first season, second season at PSG, or more centrally. But baby, I'm a Pedri and a Vitinha. A man for Ebony in recent times. The defensive midfield position. Now, Savaras bet him the Pedri, they're not to swear. Pedri, Rono, just two. Out since Las Palmas or Barcelona. The Kesipano, the central midfield role. Any the other position, which is the attacking midfielder, were in several times, and they Obiti say, Danny Omo Abantino, you have that more number. Now, listen, if you look at these two players, some more comparison. Now, Pedri, last season, listen, Money man, I am the so can say, so Obe more consistency and more games. Pedri is ahead of Vitinha. Last season, listen, about 73 games.
There be
sorry, about
33. Last season, Vitinha about full season without an injury. Pedri in 3 injuries without that season.
Okay.
You probably are reliable.
Okay.
Vitinha ahead of Pedri.
Listo now. Let me get into say last season Pedri had more minutes.
There be last season Vitinha
Vitinha matches all boy.
Meba.
It's not even last season.
Last season Vitinha about 3,320 minutes. And Pedri about 2,610 minutes.
What are you talking about? Last season, used to check it. The number of matches are. It's not about Kai. Let me build my point.
Stars so na mo argue.
Yes, Vitinha call every final available.
Me, I'm not even talking about final. Let me talk about the games.
A minute, and I'm a because PSG about 60 games. Now Barcelona about 40 games. Yeah, the 90 minutes compare. But me 60 never do saying 90 with 40 games. No, into automatically the call Champions League final. Do the Copa.
I'm not even talking about Champions League. Open your app score. Now check it. The number of matches I played won last season. He played 37 games out of the 38 games. Basabo or La Liga. Compare that minutes. About 37 La Liga games.
And I've Vitinha about how many games?
Let me build my point.
You see,
also about 2,600 minutes, and I'm the whole season.
Okay, so
and I'm telling you, say about 37 league games. And that 37 league games, no, 2,800. Copa del Rey and Champions League jam by.
And I make us say, Nipa no ball do. Pedri was Champions League final.
Meba. So Pedri, the games or boy for La Liga no about 37 games.
Yes.
Minute or boy 2,892.
Okay.
And share 4 goals and make it 5 assists.
That is in La Liga.
That is La Liga.
Sure.
Now, Mamenfa Vitinha so there. Vitinha so and so Manchester boy or
French Ligue
1. French Ligue 1 about 29 games with 2,035.
35 minutes.
And share about 29 games. And share 5 goals and 1 assist.
Okay.
Yes. So this is
where stats based on their leagues.
Listen. Listen.
Yes.
Anything I make sure say. Me build my point back. Let me build my point. Me come minutes.
Point.
And I'm sure say me about 37 games. The Champions League used to Barca could drink even.
Semi-final.
How
many games na Pedri?
Listen. Also Opera 3 times. And I'm saying say 3 times no yet. How many games and Pedri Messi last season? And I may building my point. Me can't say last season Pedri who check the number of matches from Barca. It means that about 99% of Barca games.
Okay.
Boy.
And
Vitinha number of minutes last season doesn't come near.
But he got more goals and assists than the CAM player now.
How many goals and assists end up
double figures last season.
One year double figures. And maybe you are not getting no. You are not getting your goals and your this thing right.
Make us say
listen.
French League
listen.
French League 1
5 goals and 1 assist.
5 goals and 1 assist.
Yes.
And
FIFA Club World Cup. 1 goal, 1 assist.
Why are you even including FIFA?
FIFA Club World Cup and your competitive tournament.
Compare the league normal. They don't compare, let's say, Champions League. You cannot even sell.
Now, I will FIFA Club World Cup because so share 1 goal or 1 assist.
1 assist.
Just make us say, yes.
Champions League 2 goals and 2 assists.
And I make us say, me ban starts, muno. Me ma say, in total, 8 goals, 9 assists. Pedri o ka say obo as a CM na ne career no me CM role no obo into meaning say he's more of a number 10 a creative player in our kind. O share 4 goals 5 assists.
You see in the La Liga alone.
When in La Liga
no, make sure there make Pedri start. Let me mention my numbers. In the La Liga alone, in the Serie A, out of the 29 games Vitinha boy, listen, just 6 goals and assists no year. Pedri ma 9. If someone go for Copa del Rey, make one.
Pedri man 9 then.
9 goals and assists last season in the La Liga.
9 goals and assists. Udi boom and separate.
9 goals and assists. Obika
9 goals and assists. 9 goals and assists. Obo minutes in Vitinha. Then from start, Vitinha more of a deep line player, way more of a number 10.
So you let me finish my point.
Me building my team.
Oh, your point.
Not a deep line midfielder. I should go say number 10.
Me making my point.
Make your point and addressing me.
Make come in 2 What's about Diego? Say woman now even wrong figures to listeners.
Mean two wrong figures.
I was talking about not to wrong figures to listeners.
Oh yeah, we are.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Who make you wrong figures about the minute of the player?
Mema opportunity.
Yes, my state in Yama address.
Mama omo hwe no. Omo is our respect.
Yes.
What can was more no can asem. Dear who believe say anyway no. I'll give you opportunity to
okay
into your demand.
Yes. Listen, in terms of creativity, Pedri is nowhere near Vitinha is nowhere near Abrante and Pedri. Now I'll go in. There's a reason why sometimes if you are comparing these players like this, so we are FIFA Club World Cup Mamba, you cannot compare. We are all playing in the league. So the number of minutes I'm about HOS Pedri, about the consistency. Vitinha is nowhere near Pedri. As we be able to catch in 2021, 2022. Even people move supportive as across. Hey, Bas Pedri the Basa for Bede. Last season, listen, Pedri in terms of numbers being consistent for Barcelona team no, or share 4 goals, it provided 5 assists for Barcelona in the La Liga with a non-penalty penalty. But then, who check here 88.9 pass accuracy, 22.21 key passes per game, and then the top percentile per expected assist in the La Liga no, na 96%. Now in the game influence, Ube checking the number of passes, including passes into the final opposition half, then the ball recoveries, successful tackles the BBL list. If you compare Pedri to Vitinha, now when you go sniffing in the La Liga creativity, open creativity at least a player like Vitinha and I say Pedri. Every statistics be about you say ne or you exceptional but Vitinha you good. Now you be call the passes influence. Last season minus 2,700 passes LED Barca in every key zone. You look at Vitinha minus 100 passes and game was less in the final third impact. In total the passes no bono. You be game awie na Vitinha e was 96 pass accuracy. But ni na to Pacho, Nuno Mendes, Hakimi, any Marquinhos. But Pedri didn't match was say you look me am the graveloma virus, not virus at all. So say Vitinha about more passes. But then there is a reason why Pedri people are believing say ni vision and ni creativity no exceptional. That is one thing. Then again you look at the defensive contribution, top dribbles, regains, and tackles in La Liga. You also look at Obi to say Vitinha there no. The average very good. Obi Paka was a Pedri say be a Pedri on tackle and on winning possession because of maybe who more doing defensive work and the signing man. Now, if you look at consistency and the trust, I said I made the can catch on. Pedri played 99% of Barcelona matches on last season, and I never Vitinha rotating. You look at comparison. Add me for free data and especially last season there. Pedri and Abrante and Vitinha duels Pedri winning in the attacking midfield. May make sure to meet him the Marvels that also. The duels, and I'm just saying, if you are looking at where they are playing, you might make a very good mistake about these two players. But last season, listen, if you look at Pedri, the number of duels are winning, especially for Eddie Barca in the midfielder. And no money man said Eddie can they know to. Or winning 94% of the duels are Nina Onyaye. Now, in the possession one, Onya 37 possession one against Vitinha, you have more defensive role. Uko progressive carriers. Vitinha make it more because or play deep and or the ball errani. And or no Pedri no. Because or no always away anymore no. There's no space for him or Obetime that more carries no. Then forward passes. Medical can forward passes because who ball very deep. Who the answer Obebo ball na ko anymore. But Vitinha elbow close to the box. So forward passes are Obebo from goalkeeper Diama. Now Diama Joao Pedro and Fabian Ruiz will be more. And look at Pono or 98.6. Now you look at key passes. That is what we say. We passes no ball. Normal energy, and you be no which is 95% key passes. Pedri ball 95% and Obi 17 elbow 61 and progressive passes that is all over ball more than 5 meters from Ebia who pull to attacking third because who deep, so always you are finding John Neves, always you are finding Obi to say is it Fabian Ruiz?
Yeah.
So in terms of this last season, minutes na make catch money man and no answer ebia be there chinye. In all competition last season, was on no answer so this data na so then he was even lying to the listeners minutes no say last season about 2000. This is for Vitinha, about 2,246 minutes. Listen to Obi to say Pedri, about 3,136 minutes.
Okay.
Whether with Club World Cup, whether with everything, he's not close to the boy in terms of air creativity. Okay. Before I end the I think that listen to these two players, or me players here, they are two influential players in terms of Pedri and Obi to say Pedri, his strengths, listen to, and the technical skills. In terms of technical skills, Vitinha is not close to Pedri. Dribbling, passing, vision, ability to play in tight spaces, say he creative chances. That is on no Pedri in his strength. And Iruan is always be an Obe more as an advanced playmaker. Obe detected the tempo and what attacking third. Vitinha, they now a box to box midfielder. The capability in the work rate, idea was through Etienne Pedri. No doubt about that. So there's a reason why no coach will play Vitinha in attacking midfielder. Obama then go locante with the player in terms of defensive works. Obetima winning more duels because coaches are more possessive football. They need players who make winning duels, especially who press here. I'm winning ball no attacking third.
Okay.
To me, if I'm building me player and between these two players, these two, the most important thing is as a midfielder, create chances for me. Me provision, explore. Send me wingers or me very creative, make him their mom. In as much as visionary, the technical skills and in dribblings, in terms of new work rate, especially young winning more duels, young most tackles, Vitinha is nowhere close to Abrante and Pedri. And Pedri is even younger, and they day in and day out.
Okay, all right. Until me 1 minute.
Yes.
Okay. Transfers.
Until first, in person me concerning the CAM role and attacking midfielder role. Say from starter, Vincent de Mayanche, Pedri, or starting the ball, but either he's playing as a CAM or CM role, and we work as a infin central midfield role and all. But say all build with team. Now up player, you him say a deep line playmaker, a deep line midfielder. I did back what team be here. And you better not have Real Madrid as a man. In Como Kwako Sian is a Real Madrid may say that Toni Kroos player. Even though say Toni Kroos be she goals, even though say Toni Kroos baby bia, but the way Obetimi receive ball from the goalkeeper and start play very important. Intuition Luis Enrique set up or the typical Spanish football. Now say Portuguese need to me ball a Spanish football boni ye. It's me a key figure in their team. Ezo who the qualities are player and kuta. Here share progressive start out the my who can progressive carries. Say can progressive carries or a player who's or ball now or the man we friends and Pacho any Marquinhos and you who say ne forward passes ni way him. I don't think say your side passes and your forward passes. Say you restart more. Pedri Emma more side passes more than forward passes now Okano. Inti anunti na so Vitinha forward passes are on 98.6. Na Pedri na obo as a 10 years and the ball could do strike and wingers hono on number 92.7. Forward passes percentage and a chair passes never corner a hine could do a say and say a hono number 99.6. Meaning say pass ni kone ni mo a eko. But so or the Mapacho any Marquinhos side to side. I don't think say they will classify it as forward passes.
Okay. All right.
The next thing Bioma Mpese share will duels percentage. Duels adeba say tiase especially about football stats they say you can't duels duels won more based on say be a mini Vicente age now. Na Vicente a tackle player any person or train Vicente intino or ball ne fan who me be far a county as duels and unti na so Usher in the Premier League, they are start moving around to Van Dijk, Obi and train that because he doesn't go for the ball. Until Obi Mania a lot of duels won, but in the game, no, Obi say he's picking second balls.
Okay,
it's calculated as duels won. It's calculated as interceptions. But say Obi obekwa ko pick ball no say me build me team me pay a 6 obema me that Toni Kroos, that Xavi Alonso, that Xavi, that Iniesta type of midfielder me double 10s and me double 8s no ye J ball no mo gidie say ye betimi adwane nipa no kuta ball na eba no o de beba beto yen. That is what Vitinha edema and yes so ye wo Paris Saint-Germain team no aka so he's in a system a protecting no, but he's doing it in the Portuguese national team to the extent say the same Spanish national team almost style of play no only omushia in the Nations League semi-final dominate the likes of France now. So this is something a money a dance so those age on the side.
All right.
But Bibia HS Vitinha upe a deep line playmaker and he's one of the best in the world.
All right. Inti no yes, you be na fi video we akọ out na a tape for na ahwefo and so the omagin chere to me at the about comment section on the other. Transfers no. Now Isaac, what is the current situation with Alexander Isaac, Chelsea ne Javier Simons? Now Jara had to the here we go. Everything is set. Now it left with Javier Simons. And so at the end na fe hu Chelsea so the ekoso West Ham for new goalkeeper from Botafogo, John Victor and he omaye wo hwe ade a yimodida post no mo ya Ariola mo ya na atimu se omo hia goalkeeper mpa omakọ Brazil akofa goalkeeper is Liverpool abede 120 package plus add-ons in area it has been rejected outright. I want them any idea. So let's look at that.
Transfers.
Yeah, transfers. Ganacho so the he come up. Defender Mamadou Sarr adjoining Strasbourg. Sasuna Leo Castrodin so adjoining Huddersfield loan. And Joao Palhinha adjoining Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur. They are doing something very very important. We able to match winning na fi ayai mum starting.
Okay, nti mama nsha say free Chelsea dey any kaka. Yenim say Joao we fans and we had to na kwan bia so Chelsea be sign no. Show Chelsea transfers now. After the FIFA Club World Cup, na player no mu hia ne ye e backup for Cucurella. Nti na the had to deal ni ade ba kwa ne hia nti omu the pressure bia she mu say bibia betimi akwa ma na koyi. Now they are looking at adding 2 players to their team. And over Chelsea, that is a 10 row, and also their wings now. They are a bit limited. The likes of Christopher and Nkunku and Sobeko. Then there are 1 or 2 players. I'll be on me a free team. Javi Simons that quality in that 10 row. Obetimi take a lot of pressure if we Kopama. So and also their games are coach expected so coach game with there. I wouldn't go in with Kopama, but I can go in with Javi Simons. Their games obetimi pair omumienu ama bibia koyi. Now Alejandro Garnacho the kwan bia so no. There are conversations going on say Chelsea ebetono. But Chelsea episode mu play that type of streak no money Man United play on Jadon Sancho no. They would wait to the last minute. Inti ene say ekodu na Man United who with scan number presenting na they will just go in for a loan and go in for an option to buy. Inti enu na who say Garnacho way no akọ loan. It's just based Chelsea on your priority more sa, but they know the quality kuta boy no. And in a rumor say cause say Chelsea are on background check on the player, especially ni on the field attitude, ni off the field attitude ni bibia, and now they are okay with the player. But they value the player at 30 million. I say they value the player at 30 million. They are not looking at paying more. But Man United also value Garnacho at 60. Okay. Say Okomuntema only 60 no. And Eben one say if you go in with a 60, there will be other clubs who would like to come in with maybe a 50 or even maybe a 40. And Man United they be able to happening because we offer near very low. And when Chelsea add a kakra concerning Garnacho, but it will go into the last days of the transfer windows. Another transfer will go into the last day. Alexander Isak to Liverpool. I think Kwame Biasono wouldn't see Alexander Isak wearing a Newcastle JC again. Into a Newcastle fan now who GDS BB betting derby. Now the relationship between the player, the club, and the coach is off. Into a Yedin Komui, Newcastle for Singapore, but Isak and Spain. Because why not doing say omonye no ntimi movie no ntimi nko Liverpool for 120 no present here no more they test waters. They are willing to pay more than 120. And I think Dan Vincent Becheche mu say it can go into the extent of even 250. Liverpool will pay getting to 175 to make sure say they can get Isak to their side, because omunim so equality or a lot of goals, a lot of status and the beba join any team. But Newcastle, for information, Liverpool, they say, see, I'm my one actually. A bigger problem, and also on Wizard, you know. On also I catch here Brentford from the end of the season is also about Champions League ni bi when 29 years. On your Champions League obebo, on your top flight football for a bigger club obebo. Into the season ending will be the offer ball munjaino. Newcastle kobo room no more the 30 ko then. Brentford Momotia said we are taking similar to Brian Mbeumo to Man United, and Newcastle are ready to pay. But as of now, Brentford and so Monasi because they also need a replacement. And Yoma Tom Mbeumo or Muton Wisa Babeka Kelvin Shadape, that would be the only attacking player who bet me more goals up front. Into a replacement. Ababe a big problem, but I don't think say Brentford will hold on long with Wisa, especially since a player on his own year training. On reported to camp. About a problem. In TNA, there are a whole lot of things going on, but I think say Liverpool going with a 150 later in the transfer windows and Newcastle Ebepene Ewo. Yenche Paulinia transfer to Tottenham Hotspur a loan with an option to buy of 30 million. So we share a player like Paulinia last 2 seasons in the Premier League, even a season before, and Sana Obeboss last season no movie to Bayern Munich. One of the players about tackles, about interceptions, about winning balls, Paulinia. Not even those times, the likes of Caicedo Mumpom the likes of Casemiro Mumpom because he was that player. Not time the English media, Eka say he goes in for the ball like Tebia born in the idea here. Until so Butu or Yo Denyo or Babeji Bono. And not our list of a lot of players. Chelsea, the time as Thomas Tuchel no energy so back of Liverpool, Man United, they were looking at getting, but not full my energy say on tono Emma any London club into a better so be called Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich at the 60 plus and a better fan core. Now I heard the Bundesliga now. You don't need a player to go and be running and winning you balls, because every time the Bayern Munich they dominate games, Into some lose ball now, they are being won in the final third. Who maybe be lose pass. Now Harry Kane win it, but say ball side. Now a DM would be doing the dirty works. They have the likes of Kimmich or MYBET distributed balls near, but that is one thing and a Paulinia in. But coming into this Tottenham team, Indra me na me Vincent didn't come catch and say he's giving me that Hoybier type of player. Omope obi obetimi aba e winning balls I'm the likes of Bissouma mo, Papi Samo, Bentancur, Mohamed Kudus, mo metimi enjoy game
Now when he comes like that, yeah. What becomes of Bentancur mo ne Bissouma? Can we say Papi Sa so they have a lot of cover was role no, right? So what becomes of those players?
Yes, we share the way with Thomas Frank set up the team or set up in a 4-3-3. And Thomas Frank team from Brentford na ejuma no guard ye e team no say onu ye that deep line destroyer no intinu ama the likes of with Damsgaard mo and also other players so metimi akọ many explore into here Tottenham team no ma we hear the likes of Papi Sarr with Bissouma, Bentancur, any even Madison and maybe Mohamed Kudus. Players who maybe betimi abom as a double number 8, double number 10 role. These are players omunya more of destroyers, omunya more of winning the balls, and recovering so well. Into here Tottenham under we Ancha. Now to me who say mostly progressive passes almost say na pressure ball musu bebre. Until last season they were conceding more. And so Usha injuries and a bomb defense now is more of recoveries now no more Into any so nya Paulinia he will be that sixer. Or bet ne juma ne say on one kwenim ujina defense nenim omulu so ball na the way are hungry for ball no be chase ya say ball. So I think it's a good signing. The likes of Papi Sarr, the likes of Bissouma, the likes of Bentancur, Kulusevski would be that double number 10, double number 8 we pay no what in your friends and Damsgaard muno that is similar into no he'll be about that no guard role I think Joao Paulinho one good additional mania and ocean age now Adeba also play a factor in this transfer because 28 years into all but Tottenham set up no season be ending maybe on in 29 so Tottenham may turn for 30 million. No, man, a good cover more. I think it's a good signing. And they play a friend more. Or man, they call Rangers. Send your Paulinho beat me about squad my Bible. So I think it's a good signing for young Douglas Luiz Kakra. Now for the area about Liverpool. Douglas Luiz ni Juventus. In Dram Cheche must say the relationship between the club and the player na say. But yesterday there were information from their sporting director say wabe Paul Macho. But as of now, still they are looking at selling the player out. In TNA or more in Omenya. Tips said there are 3 English clubs looking at Douglas Luiz: Everton, Nottingham Forest, and Man United. But Man United they are no at fame because they are looking at some call in for Sesko there, then Douglas Luiz or Monko. But if they don't get Sesko and they get any striker, they have enough money, they will try Douglas Luiz. And then Enyemwa said by the start of the Premier League on 15th of August, Douglas Luiz would either be starting for Nottingham Forest or Everton because these two teams, here that creative midfielder in Douglas Luiz, that complete midfielder might be behind in football. And I think it's a relationship between Onini Juventus na say after one season of movie from Aston Villa and Nyaman Timi Nkoya Bibia Akoho. This to we a friend is saying Liverpool announced your squad numbers. Na ene idea ama in semni bibre aye we ni a player a friend o Florian Wirtz, your man number 7 jersey. Na ye dan we di nkomo se team bia ni jersey number significant wo mu team no. Se o hwe Florian Wirtz number 7 omo de amana. Player o share number 7, it number 7 na no man na meno so Liverpool number 7 aba be iconic jersey. Player friend Kenny Dalglish.
Kenny.
Upe Liverpool. We a friend is a legend akesia no. Na enei me players on match number 7 JCR in their first season omo stats and also performance. Memo at least top 5 and our top 6 ni performance number 7 JC no at the pressure ba say na Chelsea amount number 9 JC na wu dwane no because you see JC na case no Oko Man United and number 7 JC no ye the map play me who say the ama and we have friends in Valencia more the ball 3 games or something or 2 because pressure won until Liverpool number 7 JC ako Florian Wirtz on Kenny Dalglish the first season or share no last season or share 31 goals in all competition until the JC number near JC bia obisha the moral kese e man until the second player and so and performance call Luis Suarez or join you in January 2011 or be share number 7 in the first season or share just 4 goals and in 13 appearance. The second season, only a full season in that 7 jersey, or share 17 goals. Even James Milner in 2015-2016, or shares number 7 jersey. No. Now James Milner shares 7 goals, 15 assists in a full complete season. After that, who players beat say even recent we Luis Diaz and so numbers or and a Liverpool legend be a friend of Harry Kewell. Na ojine mu 203 204 time no mo Champions League no mo dominate Europe no ono so the first full season o share 7 goals and 10 assists to Interchester number 7 jersey na kwako play Florian Wirtz no ekuta good history players omo ta share no omo sha omo ta goals extra a lot of assists into and to say we were Man United and we were Chelsea na jersey number team na player but this jersey number jersey number be iconic Liverpool team no into Luis Diaz score yenye mo so mo dey ama one key player or one of their major signings or my this season making sure so no to betimi leave the dreams of Luis Diaz the dreams of we friends Luis Suarez and they also their big legend Kenny send you betimi abon homodi nti omo jersey omo squad number Ekitike Eshe number 22, there are other players Frimpong and so Aji number 30 and omo say next season on beat me about Momodi and my Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah. My mention in my tier for mention share tier for him. I think sir Listo. We are just 14 days at Premier League in the best starting. And I feel sad for Newcastle for whatever is happening to them. So Becca, the last time people are saying is I say player be a Newcastle be who be no na won say team ya ba no sometimes and you even the big clubs in England won say Tottenham won say team way the only player back as omo called no was Abranta and the Anthony Ilanga. Now, the last time I checked him said Newcastle Wangasangasan. The reason why this summer Omari Sloan said Listo, they don't have a sporting director.
Okay.
And the reason why Anthony Ilanga didn't know so quick, so easy for Liverpool team, they say, Newcastle team, they say, Paul Mitchell, sporting director, they only team no, say, I say, yarin to know, or per se on stepping down by mutual consent. Into the opinion, every team in the moon because of one or two things. Listo, he had previous engagements with Anthony Elanga because when Saudi for the public investment fund for no, Ebeto a 90% stake in Newcastle. Now, this buy, especially first season, to top players, 3 more, Bruno Gomares, a lot of players, by team, and even Alexander Isak, by team anymore. And when buy, at that time, my friend Amanda Stavely, only you couldn't go those, and almost by the time Saudi for the stake, they were also minority shareholders and owners of the team. So by reshuffling in the management, but then board don't say Amanda and you couldn't go those, and they've been with the team, so we should allow them to be the director of the team. I'm handle the operation aspect of the team. Then they also act as co-executives to pay and then Darren Ailes. Listen, and then you check here, see Newcastle CEO position, in transition, Darren Ailes, or you're outgoing. Okay. So currently, they are searching for Obia Obebe Sassidi Darren Ailes. Apart from Darren Ailes, they don't have a sporting director. Now, there are only 2 people at least. Only the Newcastle, recruitment this season. Apparently, Steve Nixon on the head of recruitment, and now coach Eddie Howe. No what for CFN Andy Howe. Also a recruitment last 2 seasons. Last season, and I'm going buy. And now he's also working as the interim recruitment lead. In the Newcastle for coaching. I don't know what for say Andy Howe because they don't have a sporting director. The CEO position in transition. I feel on put your man babe cover money man. How they are doing their business, very crucial. Now, Papa na virus de natuso no. Ono NNA so probi or chairman senka about Chelsea, Todd Bowley chairman, and those days not Roman Abramovich chairman for Chelsea. No. This man is the chairman for Newcastle. A friend Yasser Al Rubian. The Saudi Public Investment Fund for no modi super Newcastle mono on the down and is Cannibal, and currently he is the board chair of Newcastle management. Now, it do about Bekasa or no the transfers. Sometimes I know person Bekasa because it do say so coach be one can say that's a player and a transfer now go through. At the end of the day, no, a besa won't plan a relationship. Now, this man, it do about Bekasa. Whatever decision be taken, I don't know what fast or any or as an or acting as an interim recruitment lead and head of recruitment Steve Nixon. If they decide say, Massa, Liverpool for somebody 150 back, we have to take this man listo on the bet take the overall decision. So look at say impuna na epuno on Newcastle. And report here Barenche say, Papa we play open as power Newcastle. Hey Isaac. And currently, who beside Newcastle player and a Newcastle fan be say, who's your favorite player in the team? America Salenda is that because since this England international, know your top scorer, and then you asking me, Alan Shearer everyone. They've never had any striker over 20 goals plus. And they are more. I was saying in the consecutive season. So Isaac is a player. Omunye Biache in recent years they've had them Baba. They've had Sisi, but then their numbers were not up to what Isaac is doing and what Isaac air form Ama Newcastle team currently. Last season they played the Champions League. They were 4th in the league log. This season they were almost placed 5th in NA. And I did at least to airbomb so Bekaya. Me so a Chelsea fan. Whenever Chelsea lose almost sporting director Michael Eminialu, the first two, and I said the next two transfer windows, name me a Chelsea. I say, Obu player cry. There's no structure, there's no roadmap. Another one, when Todd Boyle, Ebeto team, Marina Ganoska no all taking in charge of Chelsea sporting directing any operations with Peter Cech. When Omufu no, Obakaya, the next transfer, Todd Boyle na day, taking decisions with the help of other external scouts, any other agent or no more Buana recruitment. Into that year, no, Chelsea transfer no, na ayedin. Ntene, Sebaris bet my men on any kune Isaac Tosona. That woman was the woman, listen, or negotiating or kofa Isaac by. When Isaac was coming, system like Newcastle trial. People believe that Isaac Crampono, he hasn't been consistent with the rest of side in the La Liga. So, Mami we any kunu Godosi, Amanda. So I went south for them to anytime be a Newcastle will be a near the Kokoto Mosul. They were running the club at that time, with Paul Mitchell also being the sporting director. Now, Mamu Okofa Isaac Baye, and he's somebody that our background in personal, personal relationship. So he had time for the players. Onuya ne Jinemu extended Bruno Gomares and joined into a contract. And at that time, Abraham we buy no almost bare 5 years contract, and he had building a relationship with Alexander Isak that Isak was feeling say they cared about him. Before Amanda, any new kunu godos ever beton more shares when they decided to say step it down, ton almost 5 to 6% ownership back to the Saudis. No, at that moment, they were in the progress of extending the contract of Alexander Isak. But because of Omufri Hono, Paul Mitchell, any among better us, they couldn't proceed with Abraham because at that time they were going to increase the salary because player were 4 years on the contract. So now there's an extended contract. Now it means that we man pay rise. And that is what Todibo eliminated Chelsea more year recently. They want me to be a Nicholas Jackson. They've done same to Obiti said Cole Palmer. They've done same to Moises Caicedo. Because at that time, who was a player no bombarding, so all rewarding no. But the reward will come with contract extension, no man is say with other bonuses. So when Mami were free or no Isaac Rankasansano team no, although he's a leading striker, but not team never anymore. And they checking reporter Isaac is clear say Obi moving from Newcastle. And preseason no, Newcastle for reported say Isaac no when you had tie problem so among Fanuko Asia because he was with the team our Austria. That was when on the reps and the 4 years said on commons in Liverpool for open and he wants to move. And currently Newcastle for list to last season. The reason why Paul Mitchell couldn't continue with Abraham and the contract extension also coming last season. But at that time when Omba spending a lot of money, they needed to clear their books. Oh, Yakubu Mente. When Omoto Yakubu Mente, people didn't believe why you are selling your academic graduates. And they believe say Antonio Gordon or Miguel Amero Niwa Obetinyabo and they 30 million ton. A lot of Newcastle fans. Omoju Montia say Yakubu meant to call Brighton. Ocean Newcastle one show. It sounds to raise a lot of questions.
Okay.
And then they Omoto Miguel Amero, Lloyd Kelly. And I'm saying that boy in Chelsea didn't you know England DMB no BB Shen Longstaff.
Yeah.
I'm saying boy to clear their books. So last season they were not in the capacity to extend Alexander Isak contract. Despite the fact say I got 3 years because they know that next season coming clubs will come knocking. Until Mano 250,000. He's okay. That is the same amount the club is going to offer. Now the Champions League football now open one offer. Adiabeka trophies. And last season, ordinary EFL against Manchester City or against Liverpool. So now what can I say? The projects and the PIF for this boy is the on the head, the head man.
The face.
The face. And things are getting into now 2 consecutive seasons, or in the Champions League season, but then they couldn't do that because they needed to clear their books. And they had their quantum. Now, Liverpool for no. If they want to get this boy, they know how to get him. They've paid 120,000, 120 million, and then the Newcastle fan reject. Newcastle fan say he is not for sale. Obakai Ruben Diaz the end. Liverpool for no castle Luis Diaz is not for sale. But when the amount of money I know more believes if on Beton Luis Diaz company all the way by Beton, that is the same amount by a Betchia. And buyers cannot offer Luis Diaz no was something that the boy wanted to move. But the end very cool. Luis Diaz wants to move. So Liverpool for no, they know how it takes. Because Omomo DBI buying. So if they want to take Alexander Isak, that 150 million, even Newcastle for say, you be Johnny poor. That is an if. This was the 150 million, baby, a British record. And then it sounds so bad. But they can't catch the profits. One leave your bit the PSI for no agent fees. Boy, in the salary of Babaji. The deal will get closer to 150 million. So Liverpool knows if they are getting this boy 25 years for the next 5 years. Omo said the Umbetis Kakoto striker party. And Liverpool, you beat him so beat him 3 to 4, 5 transfer windows. No more sign 3 or 4 players.
Okay.
So this boy is to, but be an issue now. Newcastle for no. Almost a go mechi, and now the boy wants to move because of Belize. Baby ordering the career, he has to win trophies. About the national team, picture Navarro's that was when he was with the team at the preseason training in Austria.
Okay.
And so my boy Asian, I don't know, up to say he won't go because the boy wants to move now. Teams bang anywhere Europe says yeah, or make me affording apart from Bayern Munich, Liverpool. No other team. PSG, they won't come and spend that money.
Okay.
If they decide to make him they can buy him. But currently, do they need him? I think that Newcastle for no list too. Or Maswan, but now reporting say Papa and Dende Yasel R. Rumayano. I don't know. Obenya common tomboy. Sky any problem more. But now, boy, no 3 years. They can decide say my uncle.
Yeah. And I'm integrating.
Yes, and he's a professional player. You're under contract. Yeah. You will play. But then Adebakwa ebe affected team ni say I say ebe creating some tension or dressing room. That is one thing at the whole anytime we decide about comments about this board or person make up go say transfer no. A bit my hey play and a bit we no anko. But one share how back say yeah. The relationship between one and the reason why Ganacho Chelsea for person Montreal and Waka last week United Emma Ruben Amorim be making statements and I mentioned say statement say United for Ruben Amorim about be making a strategic. I'm not catch a quote in some Rameka because before last season man the coach catch Ganacho Emma Neba public said he should find a team to join and guess or no next season on boss our boy because the news are there. Now United for them who say we no Ababe an outcast coach ni penny Yamanet na krana ya free ska give it my ska ya de be nyema and the clubs know say United for years ska because search is rocked by no or yeah cost cutting now you between deadline year do no you discuss kitwa bi akra na be dey obeje aja into ahia Ruben Amorim statement no kind after obo list me say the fact say some of the teams no players any entry doesn't mean say and the deadline then who discuss bi aba yebeje ye njiska bi yebeje the scanner ye value these players and if you are into man you will integrate them into the team. Who start statement na a pure PR rec ya chairman say on America because he lose value. And any Fabrizio, David Oistin, Obia Mabeka said this boy is keen to join Chelsea. And I think Akwe had Ganacho in his list. I brought 2 teams in the videos and say goals are didn't say can play a mission. I didn't know show, but there's simple ones no. And I planted into mission. So to me, I think say transfer window no. A do be a quote or not quote but they have to be swift. And the Newcastle fans said they will only even accept that 150. That is if Omutimeka say, oh, yenya Benjamin Sesko, and yenya Yohani Wissa, and yenya somebody who can equally replace and I even bit some excitement if Isak anywhere because Kalum Wilson, Oko,
Okay.
And that is the reason why they needed a striker, because Isakiniwa, they don't have any striker.
Okay.
Now, quickly on United and Benjamin Sesko. And they report nature say United for narrow almost striker section two. Watkins and Benjamin Sesko. This week, Yababe Young will be Briamaya, you crab selected say between Sesko and Watkins. Who are you going to select? Now, listen, United for no. And no, my catch was say, so who say United for Benjamin Sesko. Between Sesko and Watkins, my catch was say Watkins here a low risk or a Premier League proving or experience. He's known to the Premier League football. Oba by an immediate impact. But Nebono, 29-30 years. Until now, the next 10 years are United for some project on team. This boy, when he was 16 years, or NK Damsdale, United called him. But they couldn't even meet that €2 million valuation. Salzburg for the Kofano. Now at Salzburg, Man U first and so be in 2019. Omo call no boy no representative say oh let's buy him to RB Leipzig, which is any Salzburg in RB Leipzig. Nina are under same Red Bull management. Okay. And I'm gonna call Leipzig. Now listen, we should ask who was the man in charge of that transfer when O movie akọ eye Sebaris Betman here na camera na O movie edi akọ RB Leipzig. When Oba Salzburg from Domsdale, Christian Vivel was the sporting director at Salzburg. And suddenly they ready for no. And then he goes, oh, but your team can send what Germany. Oba Germany to RB Leipzig. When this boy was moving from Salzburg to RB Leipzig, Christian Vivel was the man in charge of that transfer deal. Now, who is the sporting director and as a director of recruitment for Manchester United? Christian Vivel. Okay. And the boy is coming. They believe that this boy used to, so reaching the full potential, he will be a world-class striker. Obi to say Erling Haaland. Ni pace, ni strength, how would he shooting the ball? He's a player that Obi to reaching that full potential. It's the same way Omnikofa Obi to Rasmus Højlund. They didn't feel Atlanta man didn't buy. So when a high risk, this boy between Watkins, when he expensive, Sika Obabeji. And
also Sesko a high risk. Yes. How?
Because the time we say a high risk, they say one or expensive as compared to BT say Oli Watkins. Yeah. Boy, he has been inconsistent. Our Leipzig team, our potential no, but on team reach even half of the potential. So what we are boy we are. Things will be a dinner chabon say be an asset. We decided also stay because scouting reporting about Yamaninsan lives no own develop it now for 22 years. Now United for but they believe that how are we born or stretch it or a box striker or team run or team shooting from afar and it's a very good team in the short map not to man. So on no club say 10 goals now at least they believe that this is a striker also team or 20 goals. Okay. But always anytime be able to share 13 no share 10 on team improve as a player. Now Ube Timaka as a Leipzig as a team, they didn't perform very well. So you have the benefit of the doubt. But United for social Christian Vivel say, we have Brian Mbeumo, we have Matheus Cunha, we have Bruno Fernandes, and this boy they will see running Bruno true balls no be bring na bending so on running drift na say you were two players omo beba rebounder they can score goals even if one my 10 goals. No, but 15 goals, then Mbeumo and Kuamu will give us the goals. Let's bring him. Maybe next 2-3 seasons. No, but then are reaching the full potential. Okay. So they are taking the high risk because listen, last season now Leipzig for no extending the contract. Only the shame say if an elite club ever saw more Brandon with or no sense could definition. Say last with no definition, if an elite club but not on 80 to 90 million. Okay. And a expensive deal. Okay. Or bad this because so now Sekamara is betting this videos be to mama mia.
Me but I'm looking at say almost so here say. The transfers and say no more. What is the figures?
Figure ni 80 million euros to 90 million.
And then clubs be home be more 75.
Auntie, me van say the United aba say teams in Chelsea moko ko mo 90 and you better report say now reducing at about 75 euros. Yeah. So assuming say even an BBI 80 million euros, which is plus 75 maybe 75 million pounds. And there's report crash say Holland crano or me to me the idea and not can deal no not scanner reducing. Over 22 years with with high ceiling.
Yes.
Or physique or on a ball technique ni bibia. I consistent game time and goals no and I will expect a free no one. Now we share a year uka se okwa kofa Oli Watkins see the first year English international crowd taking a price no at the cost 60.
Yes.
You are going to pay around 60 plus add-ons I be able to do by 70. Who the age was saying 29 years.
29 years.
Remember within this year or 30.
Yes.
What I say. So if you look at say we are an investment maybe at the amount no I want the same a year figure, right? We know 10 years a crown. Now we share we are maybe over
maximum
3, 4, 5 years. What investment and which one will you choose? So I'm thinking that they are not looking at say winning league, of course, winning league, we established. But Man United Munano, Oma cover players a free league in the Moaba up to now who's a before same for somebody like Maguire. Almost funny fee league in him at the neighbor or any the alpha. So yes, we can say sir on a larger scale you can make arguments say offer play a free league in him most of the times but team Nankasa United no anyway so any automatic say Oli Watkins ban or Babe solve a problem Man United. And at the same thing now, Abranti Usuba, Seskuba, and you automatic say or Baba solve Man United problem. But if you're looking at the whole ceiling, the more room to improve, or one more age on a side, your investment, especially a new coach, we are rebuilding there. Of course, Kauko we are can be so the risk almost so almost one element in terms of winning league, winning league.
So, would say the Namekana. I was saying, say, I'm narrow to 2 players, and that 2 players, the reason why I'm saying we are high risk and Watkins a low risk. And say Watkins, medical guys, even the coach, I prefer Watkins than Benjamin Sesko. The personal or no engineer say, yeah, for we know a Christian Vivel. Okay, and I mentioned the relationship. Boy movement from Salzburg he was the one to Leipzig he was the one and now if you move to Man United materialize this boy the reps they don't one person before they move from Leipzig they believe that send a high ceiling now the United transfer policy especially this summer transfer window they want an immediate impact
already made.
Yes, already made. So there's a reason why coach prefer Watkins and comparing Watkins and this boy, meaning that this boy or high ceiling. But currently, if what will Watkins is what now this boy is what for the last 5 or 4 seasons, Watkins has been the best. And all your projections, Watkins was 29 years. Obetim can say, Watkins in the whole season, Obetim grab about 3 years amount. Then I say Christian Vivel. The reason why they are choosing this boy, they believe that Obetim about 10 years.
Yeah.
So I mentioned it. So we know a high risk, but same. My friend is saying risk now, and I'm looking for Hoyland. No, I share 8 million goals, but I see the amount of money I'm going to buy. But Mom say they've done my investment to be an alpha. So, in as much as go because I cover Hoyland, who probably have potential, I don't know for Watkins immediately. Then maybe next 2 seasons, I cover boy. But if if they don't act fast, I hear a Newcastle crack Kofana. Now Newcastle Kofana, Kofana, because what you are saying. More than 120 million for his urban Newcastle. When Liverpool were buying Hugo Ekitike, and he's a Ekitike, already made striker for Liverpool, but also they believe that also a high ceiling. So let's gamble on him. You're taking the high risk. But Newcastle can say, you're going to offer Yohane Wesa 60 million, Premier League proving, or buy na who shouldn't hear any adaptation there, or buy or immediate fix. Into checking United team now. Almost signings this season, Kunha and Mbeumo. They are not even thinking say who potential. Almost these players are immediate impacting players. They say as na the cover Victor Gyokeres. Almost Obabe Momo an immediate impact. So listen to virus betting in the videos not to this boy he's very good. It got to a time when Chelsea didn't achieve. I wanted us to buy this striker because so originally ceiling now, he'll be maybe the LA Haaland. Now, listen, boy, we know ultimate dribble or pace or your players be more, especially the physicality and the intensity, and especially about Premier League, no better defenders, and no better create opportunities. The man that two signings on my end this summer window, Mbemo and Kunha. I did back when I say, I say do baby, I mean say selfish and I say it me that or Chiano could do boss man on time pigeonity.
Then the strikers mentality.
Incident boy we o check in numbers ni assist last season 13 goals this or 3 assists. O check the previous season. O say your strikers be more e be omo time she goals. Obi tell what can say. He make or was it last season or G playmaker of the year?
Yes, last 2 seasons.
Or she goals so but also make assist. Now Sheboy true ball. That is Javi Simmons now. Keeper now closely. A quick pass. No, Abobo na Abu keeper. A happy. Several times.
I think ne weakness 1v1s. So
several times.
Omni Portugal Nations League. Pepe me say Bobby. On your 1v1 against Costa. And also say a similar thing.
Yeah.
No Costa.
Now listen, with a boy like Heisel. With this situation like this, it happens several times. Your company be a too technical like Man United coaches. No. What is the way I bet my improving? It's coaching. Yeah. And if Ruben Amorim can coach this boy, I'm a bit me attending some of the weaknesses. I'm an about strength area abilities. United for Ruben Amorim system, they do a lot of crossing. Baby no be either so obe flicky to Mbemo Kunha and obe always. List of your power be a boy against Werder Bremen.
I want to allow no or shoot there.
Yes, virus of find a short power and a short map into so. It says Onyabo na woman space no was so back obe shooty. Ne no. And it's Adibakwa sometimes I am players me say oh Charlie we be now the wood now shot. But ne short power no most of either so we chire owo animu ne short map no be a so bit oba etom. Total shot 113 in the Bundesliga since 2023. Obi and Kyle Phillips be a ball striker on list. Check the number of shots. Averagely, the average shots near 14 yards, which means that baby now 18 balls anymore. But the average shot our ball baby now outside the box a dozen. Bako against Bayern Munich, so end on the outside foot. Pa nation ho. On the right foot number 66, the left foot number 19, and on the about 28. It tells you say Oba United team ni ma listo obetimi abo. So I think it's a high risk no more for a branded. But Obama with the weaknesses and in your man how so be adapted to the league and especially pressure because sound the boss here obe pass on pass against Brentford. Now ya boy na per last minute. Now one pass am Bruno and Mbemo ansha 50% of the United fans will start hating you. And the moment as Abeba no better than a flop. So I think Listo, I think he's one of the strikers, especially when he was 16 years old. And then he did by Benjamin Sesko. Now from 16 to 22 years. Looks as if that's still now. When you do baby, people believe it's a Haaland, they say. Or yeah, or bad Salzburg to Dortmund, but City now quick and alpha. So we are hoping maybe you're by United the United technical team, can also help him to reach that level. Because baby Haaland I don't know. They be Otuado can say or buy dot or more boy no because they knew so potential.
Yeah, now they too raw.
Yes, and omo building now.
I think Leipzig didn't help this boy. They didn't help this boy at all. As the almost obsession of getting results, Ebe man, what a year Dortmund for a year they didn't do it. If had this guy gone to a year Dortmund, he would have been much more better than a year way. Last season, if you all the time be on the bench, all the time be on the bench. But Dortmund
play quite a good send.
Dortmund no matter so almost foul say wanna a year the next project to sell. No matter what you play, no matter what they will try and get the best out of you. But my guy we the game no still. There's a lot of a year way.
Never
and
I say boy on pass am easy. ukoye obi club. Support it.
Yes. And almost started some of the pressure na bounce.
Yes.
It will be a problem. Honum. Yensha and matches and me or matches kakra bi or mama mo boss ma a tifo na yensha. Oko Romania team a friend of Faro Constanta Bohum. One Metaglobus enable. Me kono home win. Ena oko Denmark Copenhagen ene Federisia nebo Copenhagen away win. Team aye friend coding IF oni HB Kwenge and also Denmark Division 1 over 1.5. Odense BK ene Vedli BK nebo over 1.5. And a Lokomotiv Zagreb ene NK Vukova 1991 Lokomotiv Zagreb win or draw. And a CSK FCCSK 1948 one FK September ene Sofia CSK 1948 home win. Shaka 04 ne Hertha Berlin win. And a Stormgrass any Lask and Stormgrass away goal. Club Brugge any yellow red enable Club Brugge away win or draw. And a Luton Town any Wimbledon over 1.5 and yeah leg 1. Auntie odi kakra to echira na ahwede ye bekwa kusinti. Yeah, Mr. Media.
Okay, intermediate India the rare weekend munte 329 odds teams the doors unti me boba akumi enu bi se ne betimi ede akoye nim. Shaka 04 any Hector BSC for na boss. I game no me call for go. Lask any Stormgrass and also game no so me call go. And yebehwe we Amsterdam SKU omonsu game omni Stormgrass A and also me call and also go. Ni ahwe yes, ni ahwe team bi so Frederica oni Copenhagen game on bebo and also go. Intino 329 odds code no G1FY MYBET.AFRICA.
Okay, my selection for the day, a friendly match Fortuna Sittard and a Bayern Leverkusen ebebo. A belt builder option, a straight win for Bayern Leverkusen and over 2.5 goals in that game. Al Hussein Ibed and Al Ali Aman ebebo. Straight win for Al Hussein. Clement Fo and Annexi FC over 2.5 goals in that game. Fredericia and FC Copenhagen. Straight win for FC Copenhagen. And Helsinki and HPS. Straight win for Helsinki. Code no H1F1. H1FY. H1FY.
Right, inti ana ede show ni nya besi Monday nyame adon e besa ba na de akachi nya ede abremu na the 1st of August akopon ma attention isi eyesa amount we na bibia nkoye yakram